space with you with a message from the divine. I hope that I'm finding you well and in good spirits. Let's get into the message. So as you saw the title, critical information from an insider helps you figure something out, helps you to destroy the camp, okay? And when I was creating the title and when I wrote down the dream this morning, there was big emphasis on the idea that this camp does have an alpha, okay? This alpha person is the whole reason this camp exists, okay? So there is an idea that someone, some person, some entity has created a collective of people, and the inside of this collective are people, more people who are forced or under some type of control, and the smaller amount of people are volunteering to be there, okay? So it's very interesting, the dream. I'll just read the notes that were here, and then we can kind of talk about or pull some cards and see if there's anything else that Spirit wants us to know about this situation. But okay, so there was this coven of witches. They are inviting people to a metaphysics fair or some type of event where multiple, different spiritual gifts can be experienced or something like that. Okay, so the first thing that came to my mind was kind of like those spirit fairs or those metaphysics fairs that we see a lot here. But the gag was that this was in a private home. It's a very large, nice home too. But this event was, there was different sections set up inside of a home. All right. Each one of the witches has a mastered gift or talent. Okay. So before I even knew that these were witches, I was acknowledging in the dream that these different people had a very individual or specific air to them. Okay. So now we know that we look at macrocosms in on this channel, on this platform. And so when I say coven, it doesn't necessarily just have to be like a group of witches, right? This can be, secret societies. This can be government entities. This can even be like reptilian societies or reptilian groups working together. Okay, so let's try not to keep it small. Let's think of it in its magnitude. Okay, and yeah, so the point that I was making was that as I was interacting with these different people at this place, you saw that there were masters. Each one was a master of a specific art or specific gift. Okay, so it said they invite others to these events to source or recruit high vibrational neophytes. Okay, neophyte meaning someone who has little knowledge on a subject. They are a beginner, or I'm hearing the word initiate. Okay, so this metaphysics fair or spirit fair is really kind of like, it seemed in the dream that it was kind of just a front or the facade of what this is, as if they were inviting people to explore different things there, when in reality they were inviting them to explore or to source, identify people who had certain gifts. Okay, so that they could draw from them in some way. We have here that okay, so this is where it gets into me describing the dream a little more. I went into one of the rooms. It was a bedroom, and after I finished doing whatever I was doing in there, because the dream didn't really show anything, but whatever I was doing in there, when I finished, I went to leave, and I walked to the door, and my body automatically turned around in a circle. I walked to the door, my body automatically turned around in a circle, as if I was being mind controlled somehow. So it did give me, not simply just in a room and can't leave the room, but it gave me that, someone is trying to cross some type of threshold. Somebody is trying to tap into something or leave some type of toxic cycle for them, and something is pulling them back in, winding them back in, okay? So it's very interesting to think. So I was walking to the door, and for some reason, my body kept turning back around in a circle, okay? And so I focused my energy, and I just kept trying and I kept trying, and it got to the point where I was able to step over the threshold and leave the room. Okay, initially I was trying to leave the whole house, but after I realized that something was controlling me and not letting me get out of the room, I decided to go explore the rest of the house. So I went and explored the house, and as I'm seeing, like I said, I was bumping into the different people. We'll call them witches for just for the sake of the the message, okay? But these different witches or people were eyeing me, almost as if they were aware that I was supposed to be trapped, okay? So it was like they took notice to the fact that I wasn't trapped, that something didn't work, okay? Then one of the women, one of the witches, came to me and whispered in my ear that the alpha, she gave me this information about the alpha. She said that the alpha had abandonment issues, okay? She said that the alpha traps people, okay, in her matrix, or traps people in her circle so that they cannot escape, so that she doesn't have to let them go, okay? It said that she also separates mothers from children, and so this is the rogue witch, or the insider, telling me who Alpha is, Alpha's history, and why I was targeted, or why I was being attacked. Okay, so it did say, so there was something about. She said that the Alpha had a poor relationship with her own mother, and that although she is a seemingly good mother to her own children, what she does is she points that energy, or she projects that energy to other people who have very good relationships with their children. So instead of, repeating the cycle, of course, down to her own children, she is targeting or putting that energy out onto other people, other families, okay? So after this insider shares this information, which felt very critical, it felt like it was a secret. It felt like it wasn't something that that even the other people in the group knew or were privy to. It seems like this person was a trusted agent by Alpha. Okay, so there was one other thing that I think I'm skipping over. No, I got it. Okay. So yeah. So remember, this person is searching out neophytes, searching out people who won't know or easily pick up on what's happening. Okay. So after this rogue insider told me this, I was actually acknowledged. She told me about why I was targeted, which was because of the gifts that I possessed. There were specific gifts that she shared with me that I possessed, and one of them was to speak things into existence, or to speak bondage, to speak success, to speak whatever, to affirm that unto other people. Okay, so immediately, oh yeah, that was what I was saying. The one thing that she did share was, I asked her the question. She said she traps people in her matrix, and I said, are you trapped? And she said, some of us are, some of us aren't. That's where I got the idea about some people being associated with it by choice, and other people being under some type of control or manipulation. Okay, so just now when I said manipulation, I'm picking up a lot of energy of blackmail. People, like, maybe she coerces information about you out of you, coerces information from you. Maybe you feel, if you're a neophyte and you're looking for somewhere to exist, somewhere to feel accepted, somewhere to feel like you can trust the people that you're around, to teach you, to guide you, then this would be a very vulnerable place for you to be. So this is what she does to some people. Okay, she collects information, or emotional energy that she can then transmute into some type of manipulation or bondage for you. Okay. Um, so when I was gifted with this information, what I did was I walked around to all the people that were knowingly or unknowingly within this matrix, and I bound them all. Okay, I bound them. Okay, so what I literally said, I bind you, and it was very significant that I used the name of Jesus in the binding. I said, I bind you in the name of Jesus. I bind you. And all of them literally in the dream were bound by like an ethereal cord, or, it was a magic cord of some sort. And they were bound. And you could see that there was some type of malfunction or something happening because they were all shaking or jittery, that the vibrations were not a match. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. The vibrations of the chord or the words that I spoke and the vibration of the being or entity didn't match. So there was some type of reaction there. So that was that dream. Okay. In the end of the dream, I bound all of the witches, and the alpha came out, and she was upset, but she had been defeated because her power source was bound up. She was not as powerful when she couldn't draw from all of the energy of the people whom which she had bound to her matrix. Okay, it's kind of like ley lines. If you have each one of these people serving an energy current, and one of those energy currents get blocked up, then that meeting point is weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. Okay, so she alpha being the meeting point of the different ley lines, and then I cut them off by interfering with their currents. Okay, so this is for you, someone out there. Someone is going to bring you some information. They are not over it. And detour. Okay, someone is going to bring you some information that helps you to shift the course of something that is currently taking place. Perhaps you're the person who is stuck in this loop. Okay, so maybe you're a person that's stuck in a loop and you've become aware of it. For whatever reason, I'm getting the energy that this is because of some past hurt. Somehow, not just the alpha's pain from her childhood, but somehow you may have triggered that with this person. Okay, especially if it's a one-on-one thing, you could have triggered this in this person by maybe not showing up for them in a way that they felt that you were supposed to show up for them. And it left them feeling like abandoned or betrayed. Okay, so we have this energy of they are not over it. Okay, and this is speaking to all the things, the childhood stuff, whatever storyline they created behind whatever action you took, they're not over it. Okay, but this detour is offered to you via this insider. Okay, demonic influence. Yeah, see what I'm saying? So wow. Okay, so yeah, there is also something, because the music card just showed itself. So there is kind of like, how we've noticed recently that more and more people are using subliminals in their music. So this could be one of the ways that this entity has bound you or put you into this matrix. This person could also be a music artist or write music somehow. Or just work with the spoken word as well. Now, this could be the gift that they wanted from you. So that however it plays out is how it plays out. But there's many stories that could play into that. But with music, that could have been something that they wanted to enhance on their own behalf by having you bound to their matrix. Okay, so let's see what else comes out here. Demonic influence, like relocation. Yeah, see, now this also speaks to, remember, you're trying to leave this room or you're trying to leave this space, and your idea. Okay, oh wow. Okay, so this is very specific for someone. You may have maybe like, now this is I'm gonna tell you my personal story that's coming up. Went back home to my home state after I had my spiritual awakening. A level of my spiritual awakening happened. Went back home to my home state, found a home in that home state. Felt like there was people that understood what I was going through and things like that. And my goal was to leave. I was just going there temporarily, and I was on my way somewhere else. And when I got there, whatever, I was drawn into this scene, okay? I was drawn into this scene. So this is really coming up for me right now. And maybe some of you have a similar situation. You could have been drawn back to a friendship, a workplace, even just a mindset, okay? You could have been drawn back even just to a mindset. And while you were just going there to reflect, especially if it's a mindset, it's standing out as a mindset right now. If you went back there just to reflect, maybe you went to therapy and you started to really dig in, it's almost as if your goal to move past it was lost. Okay, so it's kind of interesting how this is playing out and going back to the mind. Nephthys. Okay, so this Nephthys. I have written on here that she was a clone because in some of the ancient stories of Nephthys and Isis, Nephthys was jealous of Isis and actually wanted to marry um, Osiris. Okay, so some stories say that she actually helped Set in uh, killing Osiris, okay? And then, of course, went and stood by Isis's side when she was attempting to bring him back to life, all right? So that's very significant here, okay? So there's some type of fair weather relationship that was actually rooted in jealousy or competition. So it was bred like from the gate. That's what it was. Perhaps you believed that it was something else, but the reality is that that's not the case. That it was one of those situations where someone is saying it's better to join them to try to go against them at this point. So whatever that means for you. What else do I have on here? Yeah, seductress. Okay, yeah. So this person might also have some type of ties to. Okay, so they obviously have some tie to the occult if they're a person, but there's also something about their sexuality or their sensuality that they may use, okay, as a spiritual gift, as a way to bind or collect energy from people. Okay, so they may harvest through sexual interaction or something like that. Okay. Um, let's see. Either way, this does feel like you were supposed to go in, like it was supposed to be a through trip. If we're talking a physical move or relocation, you were supposed to go through and move on, but you weren't able to. Okay, now that you've relocated, there might also be some energy where this is trying to follow you, this person, this entity. Remember the microcosm, macrocosm, because even though we're talking about people, this can always be a collective and a government organization. If you're here, then you probably know about gang stalking and those types of things. If you're aware of MK Ultra, then you know that these are types of things that happen. Okay, they don't want to let this go. Okay, all right. So I also have the undercover card here, so that's where I was speaking about the underlying motives of the relationship in the first place. Okay, so I will also say too, for somebody else, if you there's two different mirrors that you can be looking through this. If you are a Christian and you were strong in your faith, or you were Muslim and were strong in your faith, then and you had some type of calling in that religious organization or that group, then someone tried to interfere and place a demonic influence to detour you off your path. Okay, so whatever that means for you, we're not calling any other arts demonic, but what I'm saying is demonic demons are, okay, how do I want to say this to y'all? A demonic influence is anything that interferes, causes confusion, causes fear, doubt, anxiety, confusion. Okay, right? So these people or this entity created or attached a demonic influence onto you so that you would be off path. All right, whatever your path is. Um, okay, so let's go ahead and see what this is. Okay, so now I'm hearing that lyric again from Toby Niwe's song, Tunda Fire. He said, the one lady says, y'all forgive me because I can never remember that lady's name, but she says, Stuck down the rabbit hole, can't come home. Found out that everything you was ever taught, everything you thought real was wrong. Okay, so there's something here where there was a falsity to something. Okay, stuck down the rabbit hole, can't come home. Found out that everything you were ever taught, everything you thought real was wrong. Okay, so for somebody that's going to be significant, tuned up fire. If anybody is wanting to listen to it, a nail technician. Okay, we have nail technician here. This may be the insider. I'm picking up that this person could be the insider that will leak the information. Ancestors. Okay. This person is likely influenced by the ancestral energy to assist you. Haunted by your ancestors. Ooh, wow. Okay. So we have nail technician, ancestors, and haunted by your ancestors. Okay. So there is something here about this insider. This insider could have had a visitation from one of their own ancestors. Okay. They could have had some type of experience, right? Where their ancestors, your ancestors, are on their head right now about their affiliation with this group, or about their part in something that happened. Okay, so this person may have also obviously had a hand in the situation. But yeah, this person this person feel like they're being urged not just by their own ancestors, but yours are knocking on their door too. Okay, and this person, now I just heard saved. Okay, so you know how, like, okay, this is funny. This person can redeem themselves. So I guess your ancestors, their ancestors, are giving them an opportunity to redeem themselves. Now, why this person was chosen is interesting, because the generational wealth and inheritance card is here. Their ancestors said, I am not giving you shit. Like, I'm not giving you nothing. I'm not gonna let nothing come to you, because you're kind of disgracing our family name. You know what I mean? You're disgracing our family name or our legacy by taking part in this, or being in alignment with these people. Okay, so this person may have thought that they could just silently just like kind of like sidestep the situation, but their ancestors are saying no, you can't. And their ancestors are leaving the door open for your ancestors to initiate whatever consequence. Your ancestors are offering them a deal. Okay, and so their ancestors are saying, it's we support you, but you've crossed a boundary. And I'm also hearing that for whatever reason, there's some type of treaty or agreement between your ancestors and this nail technician's ancestors. Okay, there's some type of treaty or agreement that goes back generations. And so that's, how, wow, okay. They're saying we've had good relations with these people for a long time. We've traded with these people for a long time. We've built wealth with these people. We've healed each other. All these different things. And they're saying, you're not going to throw a kink in that relationship by trying to sidestep the situation. That is interesting. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Okay, yeah, big opportunity with celebrities. Made up stories. Wow, okay. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, obviously y'all got a lot to say, so just give me. Okay, so they took one of my cards and now I can't find it. So I'm going to get 2 more cards from this deck to see what comes. Spirit, 2 cards, please. Y'all anxious to talk to me? Okay. All right, well, let's look at here. Distractions, friends and homies. Okay, Scorpio, twin stars. Okay, I get it. So they're telling me I'm trying to limit the message, but there's a whole lot more to say. So I'm gonna twin stars. Twin stars can be sisters, but they talk about Orion. So remember, not Orion, Sirius. Sirius, the twin stars, is connected to ancient Egypt, right? And then that goes back to us talking about Nephthys and Isis. Okay, Scorpio, throwing shade. So big opportunity with celebs, made up stories would align with the throwing shade. So this group could have tried to keep you in some type of cycle, or being blind to an opportunity that you were supposed to receive. They also could have made up stories. They could have had some type of connection to this celebrity, or have the opportunity to meet or sit with this celebrity, and made up stories about you to deter this person from connecting with you or offering you what they wanted to offer you. This is why this is connected to the your ancestors too, because your ancestors divinely like crafted this path for you for a reason. And so when some earthbound demon is trying to mess with that, they're just not having it. So the nail technician is a chosen person as well, and chosen not only in their own right, but chosen to be the change agent in this situation too. Okay, so can I now have these two cards, please? Iced or straight. Yeah, this person's gonna come to you and give it to you 100. Like, they're gonna be 100 with you. You can trust whatever this person says to you. Okay, I'm also picking up too that this was a goal, because we are back over here in this portion of the reading to ice you out, to ice you out, to create kinks in an otherwise straight path. Okay, because there was a most direct route is what your ancestors led you to, and this was something they were trying to ice you out, make you feel like you were left out, not included somehow, or they were trying to they were doing both, throwing kinks in a path that was intentionally set straight for you. Okay, now understand here that we haven't seen anything to where they've stopped anything. Okay, detour means that you've taken a different route. It doesn't mean that it's been stopped. There's no indication here that anything has been taken from you, or that it's permanently, that you're permanently separated from this opportunity or this thing that your ancestors set up for you. Emotional intelligence. Okay, that's a cool way to end this. To close out this part, emotional intelligence lets me know that not only your emotions, but also your intuition. Okay, there is something here with this person. The alpha here has an emotional imbalance, right? There is literally, and this seems so petty, but there is literally a jealousy or an envy for your emotional capacity to deal with things. Okay, for your perception and the way that you process your own emotions and thoughts. For instance, if you find yourself in like a high energy situation where your emotions are being stirred, you may have the calm tongue. You may have the capacity to cry, but while you're crying, also communicate what it is that's bothering you rather than rage out or something like that. Okay, so there is an emotional capacity that you hold that this person with these unhealed wounds from their childhood doesn't have. Okay, they try to practice it, or they try to present that they have it, but their actions against other people are always rooted in emotional pain. So that means that they haven't mastered this in the way that they present that they have. Okay, so that's something there. So right now we have let the good times roll, we have December, we have pacify, and we have generational wealth and insurance. So inheritance, sorry. So right now there's an energy that's coming towards you after this as this nail technician is coming forward with information for you. This can come before or after. You may get this blessing, this big blessing that's coming, may come to you, and then this nail technician is going to come say X, Y, and Z, and it helps you to be clearer about where you're going, what you're supposed to do with this blessing, how it's supposed to play into this whole situation. Okay, but either way, it's helping to close out a cycle so that you can enjoy what is being gifted to you in this time. Okay. Let's see what other information here. Okay, and I want to let you guys know that I'm about to come back on here and do another reading, because I had both of these dreams in the same night. Literally, I had the dream about the coven, got up, went to the bathroom, went back to sleep, and the dream was almost continued, and it was a completely different story. So it's in the same home and everything. So I will come back and tell you guys that story. Sacrifice is coming up. Sacrifice is coming up. So this does speak to what we were already talking about trying to siphon energy, trying to draw from your energy. I just heard create conflict, writing. We talked about this person being in music. Maybe you have a gift for writing and this person is attempting to snatch that from you or somehow profit off of it. Communication from God, you channel from source, and you may do this through writing, and someone wanted to steal that gift from you. Okay, so not only in writing, but remember in the dream there was a gift of spoken word, of being able to speak things into existence, speaking things, and then they becoming, they become. Okay, so you may have kind of like, if you, I know I talk about them a lot, but Toby Nigwe and Fat, they have a way of speaking their future into existence, okay, through their music. All right, so Fat wrote in the song, not 5-5, but the one right before they released, right before that, I can't remember. Anyway, he comes in. He's like, I eat beats. Watch me dine in. Anyway, she said in that song, we're about to be on a first name basis with Beyonce, right? And when they wrote that song, I want to say it was not even 6 months later that Beyonce invited them to be in her Ivy Park ad. So it's some situation like this where you have a gift of writing, maybe scripting, maybe even just affirmations. These are gifts of yours, and communication from God would say that it's almost like God trusts your word or trusts your mouth, that he validates you by bringing those things into existence somehow. Either way, you have a channeling gift, you have a direct connection to God, to source, okay? And the air element is showing up to verify again that this is all mental capacity, the ability to understand, to channel crown chakra, third eye energy here, where you receive information, downloads from spirit, okay? And you have a way of conceptualize, like, not even conceptualize, you have a way of interpreting them and putting them out. And this could be through music or poetry or something like that, okay? All right. What else do we have here? Do you have anything else for this message before we move on? Yeah, look at this. Y'all, I'm not playing with y'all. Messenger. So you got sacrifice, writing, communication from God, messenger. So, and then cousin is here. It's the only one that's flipped over, so I guess I got to take it. Cousin. All right. This person is so jealous of you for your spiritual gifts, and that is something else. Definitely giving me Joseph in the Bible, Joseph in the coat of many colors. Is that the same Joseph? Joseph who started to have visions. Joseph's brothers who sold him into slavery because they were jealous of his spiritual capacity to dream and interpret dreams. They didn't believe his interpretations, or they thought that he was placing themselves above them because God had chosen him to be a vessel for these messages, okay? So the brothers left him in a ditch and sold him into slavery, and in that he was uplifted to a place of authority, being the trusted agent by the Pharaoh at the time to interpret dreams, okay, to tell the future of the kingdom, okay? So we have sacrifice, writing, communication, God from God, messenger. Y'all just saw me shuffle these cards out. This is not, it's very clear what's being said here. And this cousin card popping out, this cousin card can be, maybe that's your situation. Maybe it's a cousin that is a part of this coven, or group or whatever. Maybe the cousin initiated these actions towards you. Man, chosen one? Come on. Come on. Come on. All right, so healthcare is popped out over here. So this person could be in healthcare. I don't know why, but I just heard dental. I don't know what that's about. Dental, diet. Oh wow, okay. Lots of healthcare information here. So I think this is really talking about some of the distractions that this group has been able to cast upon you over time, dealing with your health, dealing with people's loyalty falling away from you, or people not trusting you. Like I said, made up stories. This again, it's a lot of weird energy around it. Anything else from this spotlight? Again, you got this opportunity, or you're supposed to have these opportunities to be in the spotlight, to be acknowledged, not just by spirit, but in this physical reality. You're supposed to be amongst stars, okay? Because you are a star. When that twin stars came out, it's not only that it's you and another, like you and your sister or something like that, but it's a mirror. You are supposed to be around like energy. You're a star. Oh, you have the capacity to be, a bright light. And so then you are supposed to be amongst other bright lights, okay? Let's just get one more. Okay. Antenna. Yeah. Look, antenna, okay? That we're talking about your spiritual antenna. So like again, beam me up, Scotty. You are in tune in to God. You are tuned in to source. You are a powerful force. With the Aries card coming out, you are the emperor. You have been seated in a place of authority and dominion over this group. You already know this. So for some of you, you already know the person. You already know the circumstance that I'm talking about. It doesn't take anything for you to figure this out. You see it. You want to add anything to this? Racism. I don't know why that shit always comes out when I'm talking about spiritual gifts. Okay. Yeah, the spiritual racism coming out with spiritual gifts. Okay. With this, I do feel, remember we talked about like the spirit fairs and stuff like that. It does bring to mind, the idea, what was that, American Horror Story, the season that had Angela Bassett and the actress Katie Bates. Is that her name? I think that's her name. And they were dual. Nope, it was Katie Bates, but then there was another one too. Either way, there was kind of like this black magic, white magic, not in the good bad type of way, but in the race kind of way, like ancestral magic and whatever else other people be doing. So there was kind of like this feud that was going on. Gift of diverse types of tongues is showing up. That's a biblical gift. Again, speaking. Diverse tongues, okay? Kathy Bates, yeah. Was that the same? I don't know if that was the same. It was the same season for sure, but I know that the one with Angela Bassett was bound or buried somehow by the other witch, by the Caucasian witch. I'm not gonna say white, because in spirituality, the white witches are supposedly, love and light witches, right? But in this circumstances, that's not what it was. They were just Caucasian, okay? But the gift of diverse types of tongues would tell me 100% is confirming that the message of you being a divine messenger and whatever this energy gift of miracles, okay, again, you speak things into existence, you can create from nothing, okay? Who are you? The magician, with the Aries card popping up. You are the magician. You are a more powerful magician than any of these people here. Not that you seek to compare yourself, but it's true. It's true that you are a true magician. The powers and authorities that you work with are more high vibrational. Yeah, see, it's your true nature. You a damn angel. You know what I'm saying? You an angel. It's your true nature. You're an angel or a god, whatever. We have different belief systems around these places. So, however that plays out for you, because I'm seeing seraphim, cherubim, it's like you're an appointed agent. You are the closest to God. What's the lyric? If the heavens ever did speak, she's the last true mouthpiece. Yeah, that kind of energy is what I'm picking up on. Okay, so y'all know me. I'm not here to boost egos. I'm just here to tell you what's here. If you feel like you've been in this opposition, if you feel like you've been in loops, if you feel like you've been pulled off track and everything, and people are been working with ulterior motives, it's true. It's right here. It's right here. Okay. I just saw the Wheel of Fortune symbol. So these people could be working with sigil magic. They could have your birth chart. They could be placing black magic sigils into different houses of your chart to cause detour, blockage, things like that. All you got to do is get in your birth chart and do the opposite. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is study and meditate on the aspects in your birth chart to counter whatever the magic is that that they're trying to place on it. This sigil is the sigil from the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And it's all these different elements, okay? Let's see if I can remember this. It's the name of Yahweh, Christ, right? In it, the Hebrew letters for Yahweh are here. So again, remember I said that in the name of Jesus was how I bound the people. And so that's kind of what this is speaking to me right now in this moment. Because these Hebrew letters, like I said, YHVH is Yahweh, Christ, Jesus, right? Let me see what I wrote on the back of here. Yeah, so somebody's definitely dealing with Scorpio, because the Wheel of Fortune is Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius. Taurus is the opposite of Scorpio. So somebody who feels like they're on the opposite end or opposite end of the end of the spectrum than you. If you're highly intuitive or you got your spiritual gifts, then this person feel like they got the exact opposite. If they feel like you're a lucky person, that things always work in your favor, this and this and that, then they feel like they're on the opposite end. Okay. Okay, yeah. So I think that's pretty much it. So something about, and I know I said that you have to get into your birth chart and do the opposite, but in the name of Jesus, you know what I'm saying? In the name of Christ, okay? Like, it's just saying you really don't have to. And when I said it, I felt a little convicted when I said it. So it says you really don't have to do anything but take back control of your destiny by speaking healing over these aspects in your chart, okay? When you realize that there are certain even if they're already just built into your chart, these blockages, some people call them demons or maleficent aspects in your chart, ones that typically work against you or create challenge for you, then speak healing over those aspects so that you can begin to manifest the opposite, okay, in this reality. The birth chart is not set in stone. It's a picture of the things that you can work with in order to move into that north node or into that place of accepting your divine inheritance, into living your best life, into knowing thyself, into manifesting yourself into this reality, basically. Manifesting yourself into this reality. Yeah, there you go. Because it is said your true nature. I'll take kind of one more card if you have it here. Probability. Okay, yeah, okay. So, probability. What do you mean by that? Probability. I would also say with probability, because we were talking about chances, or probability talks about the chance of getting something, or so best is talking again about you being lucky too again. Okay. I'm hearing there's a high probability of success or high potential for success. Okay, I think that they're done talking to me about this message. Wrath. Okay, so yeah, there is some wrath. Some of these people are gonna be cast into hell. Okay, we got first dimension and we got wrath. Some of these people are going to be bound to the lowest manifestation of themselves or the lowest vibration. Some of these people are going to be bound or currently being bound to the lowest vibration possible. And what I'm picking up is, remember in the Bible where in Genesis after Eve ate the apple, blah 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 blah, right? The serpent, God spoke to the serpent and said that his punishment was to be the lowest of the of he was to be the lowest of all, and he was going to crawl on his belly for eternity. Okay, and I'm not sure what a serpent did before he said that. Okay, but that's just my own my own mind doing the most. Okay, but that was the punishment for the serpent, was that he would never evolve from that he would always crawl on the belly in the dirt. So there's something here about this, and with wrath, um, I'm just gonna leave it at that because that's what the case is. That's what the case is. This wrath comes down for them attacking a true light of God or a true messenger of God. Okay, we have light worker and Mintakan seed. It don't matter what seed you are. It don't matter what systems you come from. You come from God's wisdom. You are God's creation, right? So I usually say the universe is God's wisdom, okay? And when God's wisdom was manifested into physical form, it was human beings who have an astrological makeup, okay? They have an astrological print because you came from the stars, right? So it's like, I don't even know what else to say, but it don't matter where you came from or what seed you feel like, what seed you feel like you are. You are a light worker. You are someone who was given the gift to bring light. Okay, let's see if anything stands out here. Duality. These people are typically rebels. This is talking about light workers in general. Like I said, even though Mintakan comes out, let's see. Let me just go ahead and see. Okay, Mintakan star seeds, most in tune with their purpose. Okay, again, this goes back to what this whole message was saying. You were already walking in it. You were already comfortable in operating from this place of being a direct link or a direct mouthpiece or whatever for spirit. Original light workers, again, originals are often copied, are often mimicked, and so again, that energy was here. Okay, here to teach the value of potential. Wow. Probability, the potential to choose or the potential to get a certain outcome is probability, right? Not the potential. That's not the right word, but y'all get what I'm trying to say. The likelihood that you would get a certain outcome is tied to the potential. So like if you have all of this inherent capability, you have a potential. That's the potential. It's unmanifested yet. It's not manifested yet, but it's there. Okay, and then they're talking about these people were trying to lessen the probability or the chances of you actually manifesting these things out into a physical form. Okay, and this could be anything. The Mintakan star seeds spent a good amount of time in the Orion constellation. And the Orion constellation is considered a learning station. Okay, wow, that takes me back to the spaceship dream that I've been having lately, or the command center dream I've been having lately. So some of you are coming back from the learning station, or you journey to and from the learning station often if you feel like you have connections to the Orion system. Okay. Yeah, wow. You speak a lot of languages, like not just when we speak languages. It's not about like language, English, Spanish, things like that, but you have many understandings. So for instance, it's kind of like the golden rule and how it's translated, or it's said differently in the different belief systems, but everybody, when they look at them, can understand what exactly it's saying. So this is what we're talking about with you. You have that type of translation capability. I think that came up in my last reading when I was reading from the Dream Life of Families. you have this ability to translate things, okay, relate things to other things, okay. I was in my biblical counseling session yesterday, and the guy told me, he was like, these religions, you're saying that they're saying the same thing, but all of the religions are not the same, or they wouldn't be different. I said, I understand what you're saying, but perhaps man is the one who made them different. You know what I mean? Like, perhaps the difference is not inherent. Maybe we created difference, maybe because we have different languages, and maybe because we have different appearances, and we relate to the word differently, so then it's translated differently. So, we didn't dig deep because it was my first session, but it was kind of funny that it came up because he really wanted me to connect with the idea that they're not all the same, which I completely understand. But when you do look at it, and when you do take time, when you're not trying to be right, let's just be real with it. When you're not trying to be right, then you can see how it plays in all the different systems. Okay. Is there demonic influence in all of them? Yeah, probably. There's the demonic influence in Christianity, right? There's demonic influence in every system. And who brings in that demonic influence? Ding, 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 man. Okay. Anyway, so that's the end of that. I'm going to close this out and come into another message. So if this message resonated, feel free to give it a thumbs up, comment below, share with somebody. And if you're just here to listen and take information, then I seek that divine balance be had either way. Peace.